What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we are diving into the Great League with Arachnoid, the new meta Pokemon that you guys can use in Go Battle League. We're pairing it as well with Steelix and Galarian Stunfisk. A lot of the weaknesses Arachnoid does have. The Steel ground typing here does pretty well, and I wanted to try out Steelix as well. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, and I think it does pretty well against the meta. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team and these battles, and let's go and get right into it. Alright, getting into the first battle here, we have Arachnoid versus Galarian Stunfisk. This is not the best of matchups, but what I'm going to look to do here is stay in for a bit and try to get off a Bubble Beam and hopefully maybe catch a Rock Slide on my Galarian Stunfisk. So here comes the first Rock Slide. It's going to be doing super effective damage, but Arachnoid is extremely tanky. When I say extremely tanky, I'm talking big bulk. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Bubble Beam now. This is going to lower that attack of the Galarian Stunfisk. Definitely not going to be getting any shields right here, but my hope is to try to catch a Rock Slide. So I'm going to go ahead and swap right now, but they held the energy. Maybe I was one fast move too early, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and let the charge move go through. It is going to be the Earthquake, but it doesn't one-shot because of the Bubble Beam debuff. Now we do see a Sableye come in, so we're going to go ahead and go for an Earthquake ourselves. This does quite a bit of neutral damage, and if they let this go through, things are looking pretty good. They decide to shield. That is very unfortunate for us. Sableye now is in the driver's seat and going to be able to get off a foul play to take out my Galarian Stunfisk, but that is okay. I can come in with Arachnoid. I still have my Steelix as well, and I do have shield advantage. So we're going to go ahead and let that timer go down. We're going to come in with the Arachnoid, and we're going to go for the Bug Buzz right away. This does a ton of neutral damage here against the Sableye, and you guys are going to see just how strong this Arachnoid can be. Bug Buzz nearly one-shots it right there, but they will be able to get to the charge move. I'm going to go ahead, and I believe I decide to let this go. I do. It is going to be the foul play. Nearly takes us out. I'm going to go ahead and simultaneous swap into Steelix as they swap into Galarian Stunfisk, and this is now going to be a close race. We have to start shielding at some point, but I'm going to go ahead and throw the shield up, and it is going to be the Earthquake. Thankfully, we stopped that Earthquake right there. We're going to overload on energy, knowing that they won't be able to get to another Earthquake in time. That way, this crunch here should be enough neutral damage, but Galarian Stunfisk barely hangs on. I'm going to go ahead and look to double shield here. Obviously, cannot let an Earthquake land. So we do stop two Earthquakes right there, which is beautiful for us. We fully farm down. Sableye is low, and we don't know what that final Pokemon is going to be. It is going to be another Arachnoid, so we are actually in a decent position. Steelix, going to be taking super effective damage from Bumble Beam, is the only damage it can really put out, and these Dragon Tails and crunches are really going to start adding up. Plus, I still have my own Arachnoid so that I can clear the debuff from Steelix. So here comes the first Bubble Beam. Going to do a decent amount of chip damage right there. Our attack did drop, and we're just going to keep loading up on energy. We're going to go ahead and throw the crunch here. Obviously, this is debuff, so it's not going to do as much damage, but hopefully we can take this thing down. This is going to be a very long fight. I'm telling you, this first battle I think goes to timeout as well. So another Bubble Beam lands. Hopefully we can get to this crunch in time, and I'm going to go ahead and swap to catch the charge move, but they decide to throw, which is actually really good for us, as Bubble Beam is not going to be enough to take us out, and I might be able to get to a Bubble Beam myself here, and we do. This is perfect. This is going to be debuffing the Arachnoid now, so this is still going to be very close. Remember, they still have Sableye, which they decide to swap in right now as well, but this gives me enough energy, or enough HP to be able to farm down with Steelix to now have the opportunity to get off two crunches. Here comes the first one. This should be getting the final shield, and then I am one Dragon Tail away from getting to the last crunch with 4 seconds left, and we get the crunch right there on CMP tie. So that is going to be a good battle, very well played, but Steelix holding it down right there for us at timeout in game 1. The team I am running today is extremely bulky as well, so we got a Medicham on the lead. Medicham being a good lead for us because our backline obviously very weak. My opponent is lagging, so I'm deciding to now stop attacking and let them get some more attacks in. It's very frustrating with Go Battle League. It's hard to tell if they are actually lagging or not, but seeing that they were, I decided to stop, let them get some attacks in, and no shield the first charge move just in case, and we're going to go ahead and go. Now, I have no clue if it's back to even fair play on the lead. There's no real way to determine that, but I gave them like 3 or 4 counters to come back in. We're going to go ahead and go for the Bubble Beam as well right here, trying to force a shield now from the Medicham. Seeing that we landed the Bug Buzz, things are looking very good, and we do get a shield as well, so I'm going to go ahead and shield this next Psychic. And then farm down with Bug Bite right here. That way I can get a debuff. They decide to swap to Galarian Stunfisk, so I'm going to go ahead and go for the Bubble Beam now. That I am behind on energy. This debuff is going to be very crucial for the mirror match. So we're going to go ahead and now swap into Galarian Stunfisk. And now we're in the mirror match, but their Earthquake is going to do a lot less damage than mine. So I'm going to go ahead and no shield right here. They have to land an Earthquake, and I'm going to force them to do that. And it's just a Rock Slide. That is a huge call on our side, and we're going to go ahead and go for our own Earthquake now, forcing the final shield or one-shotting the Galarian Stunfisk in the mirror fight. Do we land it? No, we do get the shield right there, but things are still looking good. I still have my Steelix, and I'm going to no-shield as well. I know I can survive it, and it is just going to be another Rock Slide. That is perfect for us, so we should be able to get to the Earthquake, but they do get to another charge move. I'm going to go ahead and let this go. And it is going to be the Earthquake, actually. So we barely hang on, and they swap perfectly into Medicham to catch my charge move. That's a good swap on them, but we still have a shield, so we're going to swap into the Steelix as soon as possible, knowing that Medicham is now out of the game. I don't know what's in the back. We're going to go ahead and swap to the Steelix. The Galarian Stunfisk comes in. We just need to get to this Earthquake, really, to close it out. I'm going to go ahead and shield as well. Obviously, getting one-shot by an Earthquake with a Steelix is not a good plan, so we do stop that Earthquake. We're going to try our best to get to our own Earthquake right here. It's going to be extremely close, and we CMP tie. And I'm just thinking, that was far too quick. I think there were 2 fast moves off, and it was just a Rock Slide, so that is fine. We're going to be able to survive it right here and go for our Earthquake to take them out. Now, I'm trying to undercharge it to see if I can farm down, but it still one-shots it right there, and the final Pokemon is actually going to be a Bastiodon. So Steelix right here, going to show who is the true Steel Ground King in these matchups of the tanks, as Earthquake is going to be doing super effective damage as well. Boom! Nearly one-shots the Bastiodon right there, and we can survive the Flamethrower, which is really nice. As you guys are going to see, Flamethrower doesn't do too much damage. We're going to go ahead and swap into Arachnoid to try to close it out with Bug Bite, and we do right there, so that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. Alright, moving to the next one, we have Arachnoid versus Stunfisk. Now, Stunfisk can beat my whole team. This thing can shred through everything, so I have to do my best to take it out here on the lead. Thankfully, Bug Bite and Bug Buzz do neutral damage, so that's going to pay off very well for us. Discharge as well, super effective damage, but Arachnoid's an absolute tank. I see it like a defense form Deoxys in a sense, where it's extremely bulky. But in this case, it's got really good typing against the meta. So we do land the Bug Buzz there. That is perfect. We're going to go ahead and let this next charge move go through. If need be, I will come in with Steelix, with Dragon Tail and farm down, but I think I can get to this Bubble Beam in time right here, but I don't. That is so unfortunate. I'm not going to be able to get to it, so I'm going to go ahead and give up a shield here to stop the Mud Bomb. This Bubble Beam now might just force a shield from my opponent. If they decide to no shield, I might just be able to farm down with Bug Bite. It's going to be close, but let's see. Yeah, they decided to no shield it. The attack did drop, and we get the White Ball of Death in the top left. We both come back, and we do take them out right there. Today's sets were pretty laggy, if I'm going to be honest, but let's go ahead and see what decides to come in. We see a Sableye come in, so we're just going to go ahead and go for the Bubble Beam right away, forcing that debuff, and then we're going to swap into our Galarian Stunfisk, knowing that their own Stunfisk is out of the game. That might have been the only counter to my Steel backline, so we're going to go ahead and just swap in and look to apply as much pressure as we can. We're going to go for the Rock Slide right here. Charge Me now coming through. We don't need to shield. Remember, we just Bubble Beamed the Sableye, which means these foul plays aren't going to do that much damage. And seeing that they're not swapping out is a tell to me that maybe they are weak in the back to Galarian Stunfisk. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Rock Slide. We do get a shield, which is perfect. And now I'm in the clear to throw that Earthquake right away. and we will be able to tank another foul play. Now, we'll have to see what they decide to do, if they decide to swap out or stay in, and they're looking to stay in, so we're going to go ahead and throw the Earthquake now. This might just be enough damage to take out the Sableye if they decide to no-shield, but let's see what they decide to do. They decide to no-shield. Boom! Sableye goes down, and the final Pokemon is going to be Skarmory. So perfect. We're going to go ahead, throw this Rock Slide right here for chip damage, and then we are going to swap right away into Steelix, and you're going to see the raw power right here. Steelix, so tanky against a Skarmory. There's really nothing it can do, and Crunches as well do some nice neutral damage for us to close this game out. So the first Crunch is going to be landing right here, and they decide to no-shield. I think they know it's over, but I think they're trying to go for a Brave Bird right here, and we're going to let this go. I want to show you guys how tanky Steelix is. Even though it resists it, Brave Bird, it tickles the Steelix right there. Not going to do enough damage, and they do decide to surrender, so that's going to be a good battle. Very well played. All right, moving next one, we have Arachnoid versus Nidoqueen. Okay, so another tough lead right here, so we're going to swap out right away into Galarian Stunfisk, and they decide to bring in Scrafty. So this is already a tell to me that this is probably going to be double dark, Nidoqueen, Umbreon, and Scrafty. Drawing out the Scrafty right now is huge for us because we can likely land the Earthquake right here for neutral damage and get this thing out of there and let the Steelix potentially sweep. So here comes the Earthquake. It lands beautiful. That's what we love to see, and we're going to go for that Rock Slide as soon as we can. They are going to throw another Power-Up Punch right here, which is fine by me. I should be able to survive it and throw this Rock Slide in order to do just enough chip damage where Arachnoid can come in and farm down with Bug Bite. So Rock Slide gets no-shielded. They knew it all day long. That's fine. I'm going to come in and farm down right here. Now we're getting close to a Bubble Beam, but there is still the Nidoqueen to deal with. Nidoqueen is going to be very, very tough. And we're going to go ahead and look to throw the Bubble Beam right away. This Bubble Beam as well does super effective damage, but honestly doesn't do enough damage to warrant a shield. So we will no-shield. The Poison Fang right here doesn't do too much. We're going to throw our own Bubble Beam just to debuff, and then we will swap out right away into Steelix. Now, Bubble Beam gets shielded right there. That is a very interesting call from my opponent, as this now gives me a big window to potentially win this game. So I'm going to go ahead and shield the potential Earth Power now, which Steelix does not like. We do shield the Earth Power. That is perfect, and we will see an Umbreon come in. So it was a good call, seeing the Double Dark in the back, and Steelix has a much better matchup against the Umbreon right here because of the Dragon Tail and Earthquake damage. As you can see, those Dragon Tails are really starting to add up. Foul Play as well, not going to do too much. Steelix will surprise you right here. Foul Play, able to tank it right there, and Steelix looking very strong for me right now. We still have our Arachnoid with quite a bit of HP as well, so we'll have to see how we play this out, but ultimately I think my Steelix is going to be the key to victory. So we're going to go ahead, load up, and I'm going to swap now into Arachnoid to force them to try to throw energy or swap out, as we should be able to tank this right here and get Umbreon relatively low. And then the Nidoqueen should be coming back in, and it does, which means we can get this Bubble Beam off, maybe force that final shield. I don't think they will, but at least we apply this debuff right here while doing super effective damage. So let's see if we can get to one more Bubble Beam in time. No, they're going to go ahead and throw the Poison Fang. That's fine by me. I'm going to no-shield this. We're going to come in hard farm with the Steelix. They decided to undercharge that, I think. Or maybe that's just the normal damage it does, but we're just going to go ahead, throw the Crunch right away. I think this is going to be forcing the shield from my opponent. No, they let it go. Okay, that's fine by me. Steelix can Dragon Tail this Umbreon down, and that is perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and shield, and then take this game with Dragon Tail. So good game to my opponent, but running such a tanky team takes a while to get through. We also get some more Go Battle lag. This is honestly how my sets went, and these are just some of the best games from my sets with this lag right here. So not really sure what happened, but I knew that the Umbreon would have gone down to 2 or 3 more Dragon Tails right there, so it was a good game. Alright, so we got Venusaur on the lead right here. Venusaur, somewhat of a neutral matchup. All depends on who wants to shield and if I can land the Bug Buzz. That's the big thing right here. But honestly, Bug Bite is really starting to add up. As you can see, we already have it to nearly 75% HP. Frenzy Plant as well is only neutral, which we can survive. And we're going to go ahead and throw the Bug Buzz now. That's quite a bit of damage if they decide to no-shield. And if they do, things are looking pretty good. We do land the Bug Buzz right there against the Venusaur. So they decide to swap out actually into Bastiodon. So I'm going to go ahead and come come into Steelix. Now, I come into Steelix right here because it can do so well against Bastiodon, because it's able to tank the flamethrower a lot better than Galarian Stunfisk can. As you guys can see, it's not threatening whatsoever. So we're just going to go ahead and overload on energy and now throw the Earthquake. I think I decide to undercharge it. No, I went for the full Earthquake. That's fine. And it lands for so much damage. They're going to be able to get to one more flamethrower, which is fine by me. It's honestly not going to threaten the Steelix. I can easily survive this, and this is why I swap in Steelix into Bastiodon and save Galarian Stunfisk for whatever they have in the back. So let's see if the Venusaur decides to come back in, or if it's going to be something else. Switch clock is back up. It's actually going to be Galarian Stunfisk, so I'm going to go ahead and swap into the Arachnoid right away to force out that Venusaur and throw its energy. And now I can come in. Remember, I still have Earthquake on my Steelix. I can come in with Galarian Stunfisk and farm down with Mudshot for the mirror match right here. So things are looking pretty good. I'm just going to go straight Earthquake right here. There's no reason to try to go for a Rock Slide when I have an Earthquake loaded on my Steelix and 2 shields as well. So this is going to be somewhat close, I think, especially if they throw Rock Slides right here and I shield it, which they do. So that's a good call by them. But all I need to do is get to one more Earthquake to close this game out. So I'm going to go ahead and shield once again, get that Earthquake off, land it, or get the final shield, and then we're going to be swapping right away into Steelix. So Earthquake now coming through. This is looking to be a good game as I've put them into a corner that they really can't get out of. We do get the shield, we swap right away, throw the Earthquake on our Steelix, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played, ending with a boom. Boom! One shots this Galarian Stunfisk right there, and Steelix. Very clutch today for me. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's battles. We're going to try more Arachnoid teams later this week and into next season. But honestly, first thoughts, it's extremely bulky, tough to take down, but there are a lot of counters out there for it, like those flyers, like the electric, maybe stuff like Bastiodon. So, be careful if you guys decide to use it, build around it, like I decided to go with the double steel here. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.